Very good morning to all the viewers. We will see over the last 11th standard class relations பத்தி பார்த்தோம். அதனுடைய continuation of the terms பார்க்க போறோம். Types of relations. What about the types of relations? Relationsல என்னென்ன type இருக்குன்றதை நம்ம இங்க explanationல பார்க்கலாம். Listen to here. Types of the relations will be considered. Consider the following examples. First ஒரு 5 examples will be here. என்ன கொடுத்திருக்காங்க? Let S equal to 1 2 3 4 and or set of order pairs on S ன்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. And second one will be considered 1 2 3 and so on 10. Define M is related to N if M divides N. In a mathematical oriented கொடுத்துக்கிறது. And C be the set of all circles in a plane and define a circle C is related to a circle C if the radius of C is equal to the radius of C dash. Okay, in this order of the terms will be considered. And also in the set S of all people, define A is related to B if A is brother of B. A is a brother of B. And also last one, let S be the set of all people, define the relation on S by the rule of mother of. Okay, in this also, in the second example, as every number divides itself, A is related to A for all A is subset belongs to capital X. The same as is true in the third relation also. Also, the first example is A is related to A for all A belongs to S is not true, as 2 is not. In terms of பாருங்க இருக்கா இல்லையா? No, but that is will be considered. A belongs to S in terms of is not true, as 2 is not related to 2. But therefore then the first one is false of the term. It is easy to see that the property, if A is related to B, then B is related to A. This is true in the third but not in the second. இப்போ மொத்தம் types of the இதில் பார்க்கும்போது எனக்கு மொத்தம் 3 types of the terms கண்டுபிடிப்போம். அந்த 3 types of the terms எது எனக்கு consider about the termஸில் இருக்குன்னு செக் பண்ணுவோம். அதே போல் it is easy to the property of A is related to B and B is related to C, then A is related to C என்றதை செக் பண்ணுறது. These are true the second and third relations but not in the fifth. Okay, but not on the fifth. அப்போ இந்த ஆர்டரில் in terms of will be these properties together with the some more properties are very much studied in a mathematical structures. Let us define them now. Okay, what about the definition of the terms? அது எப்படி definitions-ல find out பண்ணுறாங்க? It is considered about the let S be a non-empty set. These are our 2 mark questions. Basic relations will be considered. The definitions will be important one. Let S be any non-empty set. Let R be any relation on S. Let S be any non-empty set. Let R be a relation on S. Then R is said to be a reflexive if A is related to A for all A belongs to S. அது reflexive என்ற property satisfy ஆகுதுனாக்கா எனக்கு in this condition A is related to A வந்துச்சுன்னா that is will be considered. And symmetric, what about the symmetric? Symmetricனாக்கா ஒரே மாதிரியே இருக்கிறது. அப்போ if R is said to be symmetric if A is related to B implies that B is related to A. அப்போ நான் Aக்கு B ரிலேட்டடாக இருந்துச்சுன்னா B வந்து Aக்கு ரிலேட்டடாக இருக்கணும். In this condition about satisfy ஆகணும். And the last one of the terms transitive. If R is said to be A is related to B and B is related to C, it is implies about that A is related to C. That is a fixer about. Okay, in terms of one of the person A, B, C. A வந்து B க்கு relatives and B வந்து C க்கு relatives and A also C க்கு relatives வந்துச்சுன்னா it is a transitive னு சொல்லுவாங்க. Okay, it is clear about. Okay, அதே in terms of second one symmetric, what about in a symmetric? A symmetric about B and B symmetric about A. This here will be considered. Okay, it is also symmetric property. In a reflexive property also will be considered. A is related to A. A is related to A. In this order இருந்துச்சுன்னா it is a reflexive. These 3 relations are called basic relations. Okay, இப்போ ஒரு basic relations இருக்கா இல்லையான்றதை செக் பண்ணுறதுக்கு we will use the definition of the terms. Okay, it is clear about. Let us consider the 3 relations, basic relations. So, no, another terms will be considered the term. let us rewrite the definitions of these basic relations in a different form. Let us consider the non-empty set. R be a relation on S, then R is, these are three types of the relations will be taken here. Reflexive if A comma A belongs to R, the set of all A belongs to S. And the symmetric if A comma B belongs to R, B comma A belongs to also R. Okay, transitive will be considered three terms: A comma B, B comma C, it is belongs to R. Then will be considered A comma C belongs to R. That is the three types of the basic relations. And next one, definition of the terms equivalence relation. Eppadi equivalence relation solluvaanga? Let S be any set, a relation on S is said to be an equivalence relation if it is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Both of the terms, both of the three types will be satisfied in equations, then will be considered the equivalence relation solikalam. Okay, if I consider the following two relations paaka porom. In a set S1 of all people, define a relation R1 by the rule. Enna A is related to B if A is brother of B. A is related to B. சொன்னாங்க A இந்த இதற்கு என்னது brother of B க்கு brother இருக்காங்க. And second one, whatever in a set, the set S2, the set of all males, define a relation R2 by the rule A is related to B if A is a brother of B. Okay, இந்த இடத்துல male choose பண்ணிருக்காங்க, இந்த இடத்துல people choose பண்ணிருக்காங்க. அப்ப the rules that define the relations on S1 and S2 are the same. The rule என்னது ரெண்டுமே எனக்கு சேமா தான் இருக்கு. But the sets are not same. இதில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா செட்ஸ் எனக்கு சேமாக இருக்குமா? இங்கே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா people சொல்லிட்டாங்க. Peopleனா both are the term, male or female. ஓகே, அப்போ இந்த ஆர்டரில் வரும். ஆனால் அதுதான் இங்கே கண்டிஷனை சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. But the sets are not same. BR1 is not a symmetric relation on S1. அதாவது இங்கே என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காங்க? A is a brother of B and A is a brother of B. இந்த this ஆர்டரில் எனக்கு ரிலேஷன்ஸ் மட்டும்தான் எனக்கு S1ல் தெரியும் சேமாக வந்திருக்கு, S1 and S2. ஆனால் செட்ஸ் ஆர் நாட் சேமில் இருக்குது. அதுதான் இங்கே என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காங்க? இட் இஸ் எ நாட் சிமெட்ரிக் ரிலேஷன் ஆன் S1 whereas R2 is symmetric relation on S2. This shows that not only the rule defining the relation is important. அப்போ the relation is important போது the set on which the relation is defined is also important. அப்போ நான் ரிலேஷனை டிஃபைன் பண்ணுறது அந்த இடத்துல will be important one of the terms. அப்போ so whenever one consider a relation, both the relation as well as the set on which the relation is defined have to be given explicitly. Note that the relation 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2 is reflexive if it is defined on the set 1, 2, 3. It is not reflexive if it is defined on the set 1, 2, 3, 4. It is not reflexive in the set of the terms 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it is clear? And illustration of the terms. What about the next illustration? 1.4, let capital X is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and R is equal to will be considered the set of ordered pairs in R. It is a reflexive. It is a considered the 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 and 4, 4. It is a reflexive property is also satisfied. It is a reflexive, symmetric, transitive. It is one of the terms. எந்த நம்பர்ஸ் இருக்குனோ அந்த நம்பரோட டேர்ம்ஸ் எனக்கு அங்கே இருந்துச்சுனாக்கா it is a reflexive is satisfied. Okay, அப்போ reflexive in the set of all the terms will be considered. For also for each pair, if A comma B belongs to R, the pair B comma A is also in R என்றதை செக் பண்ண போகிறேன். So R is symmetric என்றதை செக் பண்ண போகிறேன். Okay, what about the R is symmetric in terms of 2, 1 இருக்கு and 1, 2 is here. Okay, it is clear. அப்போ 2, 1 and 1, 2, 2, 1 and 1, 2. It is symmetry. Okay, and next one 1, 3, 3, 1. It is also symmetry. Okay, what about the next one of the terms? It will be considered in terms of 2, 3. 2, 3 is here. It is not. Okay, but in this set like this symmetric properties will be considered. Adhe 2, 3 is not belongs to R we see that R is not transitive. Here not transitive will be considered the term. These are symmetric properties will be considered about. Symmetric it will be true. Okay, our symmetric will be true. In you consider about the not transitive. What about the not transitive? 2 comma 1 and next one of the term 3 comma 1 comma 3. It will be considered about A comma B and B comma C. Then what about in terms of it will be implies about A comma C. What about the A 2 and C 3? About 2 comma 3. 2 comma 3 in here the relations is not. Okay, therefore 2 comma 3 is does not belongs to R. We see that R is not transitive. Those R is not an equivalence relation. It is clear about. நான் என்னன்னு சொல்ல முடியாது, equivalence relation சொல்ல முடியாது. ஓகே, அப்போ எந்த ரிலேஷன்ஸ் மட்டும் எனக்கு சாட்டிஸ்ஃபை டைப்ஸ் ஆஃப் ரிலேஷனை சாட்டிஸ்ஃபை பண்ணுதுன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னாக்கா ஒன்லி ஃபார் 2 கண்டிஷன்ஸ் மட்டும்தான் சாட்டிஸ்ஃபை ஆகுது. என்னென்ன கண்டிஷன்ஸ் பார்த்தீங்கன்னாக்கா symmetric and reflexive. Okay, but not transitive. அதனால் therefore that is a not an equivalence relation சொல்லிக்கலாம். Okay, and also next one, second one will be considered. Let P denote the set of all straight line in a plane. The set of all straight lines in a plane. Okay, let all be the relations defined on P as L or M. If L is a parallel to M, L is a parallel to M, the relations is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. It is considered about the terms will be those it is an equivalence relation. Okay, all the 3 terms will be satisfied, then we will get the equivalence relation. Okay, and what about the next one will be here? Let A be the set consisting of children and elders of family. Okay, let R be the relation defined by A or B. Is A is sister of B. This relation is to be looked into carefully. இப்போ எனக்கு இந்த இடத்துல relations will be considered. அப்போ நான் இதை carefully listen பண்ண போகிறேன். A woman is not a sister of herself. A woman is not a sister of herself. அப்போ it is not a reflexive property. Okay, அப்போ and also next one பாருங்க, symmetric property also not satisfied. Why? Symmetric properties will be considered. A is a sister of B. B is a sister of A. It is clear. Are you understood? B is a sister of A nu varuma varadu. It is not a symmetric property. It is clearly also the transitive property. Idu enakku not transitive. Okay, all the 3 terms will be not satisfied. It is a not a equivalence relation. Okay, then they will be considered about. So it is not an equivalence relation solli complete pannikalam. Okay, in this within bracket la sollirukanga parunga, if we consider the same relation on a set consisting only the females, then it is becomes symmetric. Okay, even in this case it is not transitive. Okay, அதே in terms of எனக்கு என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காங்க பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, இந்த இடத்துல consisting only of females மட்டும் நான் சூஸ் பண்ணுறேனாக்கா அப்போ கூட எனக்கு என்ன ப்ராப்பர்ட்டிஸ் மட்டும்தான் சாட்டிஸ்ஃபை ஆகும்னா then it becomes symmetric. ஆனால் இதில் எனக்கு transitive satisfy ஆகாது. Okay, it is clear about in terms of third one. And fourth one will be considered on the set of natural numbers. Let R, the set of all natural number, let R be the relation defined by X relation Y. If X plus 2Y equal to 21, it is better to write the relation explicitly. The relation R is the set. Okay, the set of all natural number then will be 1 become in terms of 1 will be substitute in terms of, then we get the term y oda values will be equation la substitute panni will be find out the term. Okay, appo 1 comma 10, 3 comma 9, 5 comma 8, 7 comma 7, 9 comma 6, 11 comma 5, 13 comma 4, 15 comma 3, 17 comma 2, 19 comma 1. Okay, in this order of the terms. What about in terms of 1 comma 1? It is what about the reflexive? Reflexive na ஒரு term நான் என்ன நம்பர் எடுக்கணும் அதே நம்பர் அதிலே வரணும். அப்போ 1 எடுக்கிறனாக்கா 1 comma 1 does not belongs to this relation. அப்போ it is not a reflexive. 1 comma 10 belongs to R. 10 comma 1 does not belongs to R. அப்போ it is not symmetric. Not a symmetric. It is 3 comma 9 belongs to R. 9 comma 6 belongs to R, but 3 comma 6 it is 9 is common, but 3 comma 6 is transitive, it is not transitive. 3 comma 6 is not in the given relation of the set. Okay, but the relation is not transitive. Okay, it is clear about this all the types of the terms. And the next one, fifth one, what about here? If x equal to 1 2 3 4 and r is equal to empty, where empty is the empty set ன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அப்போ 1 comma 1 it does not belongs to r, is not reflexive. We cannot find the pair x comma y in r. அப்போ அதுக்கப்புறம் நான் எந்த ஒரு பேரும் கன்சிடர் பண்ண முடியாது. அப்போ then we get the term என்ன சொல்லலாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா x comma y, y comma x does not belongs to r. It is not an symmetric and also it is similarly it is a transitive. அப்போ so it is a symmetric-ஆ இருந்துச்சுன்னா தான் similarly it is a transitive ன்னு சொல்ல முடியும். Okay, அப்போ the universal relation is always an equivalence relation. It is a 1 mark type ல கேட்பாங்க questions in this order ல will be listen. Okay, 1 mark type ல கேட்கக்கூடிய question. The universal relation is always an equivalence relation. An empty relation can be considered as symmetric and transitive. Empty relation can be considered about symmetric and transitive. A relation contains a single element, then the relation is transitive. Okay, it is also all the consider the terms. Okay, the base பண்ணி problems பார்க்கலாம். ஓகேங்களா? Okay, we see about the in terms of relations, types of relations வச்சு பார்த்தோம். அது பேஸ் பண்ணி வர எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ் பார்க்கலாம். Basic relations will be considered. Example 1.10, check the relation given the set of ordered pairs will be considered. Define on the set, ஒரு செட்டை டிஃபைன் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. Yes, 1, 2, 3 up to n for the 3 basic relation. இதை நான் செக் பண்ண போகிறேன். First of all, what about the basic relations? A, A belongs to R. This is a reflexive property. அப்போ a, a 1, 1 it is also here. அப்போ r is reflexive சொல்லி முடிச்சுக்கலாம். And also there is no pair a, b in R such that b, a does not belongs to R. b, a it is clear about this does not belongs to R. Therefore, in other words, for every pair a, b belongs to R, b, a is also in R, R is symmetric. Okay, but then we cannot find two pairs a, b and b, c in R such that a, c does not belongs to R. Those the statement R is not transitive is not true. Therefore, the statement R is transitive is true, hence R is transitive. Okay, now R is transitive will be considered the true statement, hence R is transitive. But since R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, this relation is an equivalence relation. This relation is an equivalence relation. It is considered about the terms. It is continuing in this term n, n. This will be considered the set of the terms. Okay, about R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive is also considered that this relation is considered about the equivalence relation. Next one of the terms, from the very beginning that we have denoted all the relations by the same letter R. All the relations by the same letter R. It is not necessary to do so. But we may use the Greek letter rho. Okay, Greek letter rho. But Greek letter rho will be read as rho ன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க to denote the relations. And the rho and the symbols will denote about the relations will be framed. Okay, equivalence relations are will be mostly denoted by in this symbol notation. Okay, but if a relation is not a required type, then the by inserting the or deleting some pairs we can make it of the required type. We do this in the following problems. Okay, நம்ம இந்த basic relations வச்சு நம்ம problemsல பார்க்கும்போது will be considered. Okay, okay students, நம்ம இதுவரையும் பார்த்த எல்லாமே புரியும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ரிலேஷன்ஸ் டைப்ஸ் ஆஃப் ரிலேஷன்ஸில் அண்ட் ஈக்குவலன்ஸ் ரிலேஷன்ஸ் எப்படி ஃப்ரேம் பண்ணுறது, கிவன் த ரிலேஷன்ஸை செக் பண்ண சொல்லி ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் சம்ஸ் பார்த்தோம். இதை பேஸ் பண்ணி வர சம்ஸ் எல்லாத்தையுமே யூ வில் பி செக் அவுட் அபவுட், நீங்களே வீட்டில் ஒர்க் அவுட் பண்ணி பாருங்கள். அண்ட் ஆல்சோ வில் பி ஹோம் ஒர்க் கொஷின்ஸ் ஃபார் இன் ஏ டைப்ஸ் ஆஃப் ரிலேஷன்ஸில் அந்த 3 types reflexive, symmetric, transitive. Okay, and the 3 types of the definitions of the terms will be read and write. Okay, read and write. And next we will be consider the equivalence relation, and the definitions will be write on the term. Okay, it is all the continuation of the terms. இன்னைக்கு நடந்த எல்லாத்தையுமே recall பண்ணி will be practice about and will be see about the next class. Okay, thank you to all.
Character, knowledge, confidence. SRK Higher Secondary School, Karikalampakam.
I love my school, SRK. Best of the best is SRK. Bright future means SRK. Quality education, SRK. Knowledge power lasts forever. Faithful friends to see the posture. Lovely teachers and wisdom. What's the culture we will start? I love my school, SRK. Best of the best is SRK. Bright future means SRK. Quality education, SRK.
Admission is going on from pre-KG to 12th standard. Group A1A, Maths, Physics, Chemistry, Biology. Group A1B, Physics, Chemistry, Computer Science and Biology. Group A2, Maths, Physics, Chemistry and Computer Science. Group A3, Accountancy, Economics, Commerce and Computer Application. SRK Higher Secondary School, 45/7, Dilliyanur Main Road, Karikalampakam, Puducherry 7.
ஒரே லட்சியம் எங்கள் கண்ணிலே நிறைவேறிடும் அந்த நாளிலே உலகம் போற்றிடும் எங்கள் பள்ளியே SRK. கல்வி பண்புகளை கண்ணின போற்று கலைகள் யாவையும் கைவசமாக்கு பள்ளியின் பெயரை கேட்டால் சொல்லு SRK. IIT MBBS தேர்வையான போது மோதி வென்றிடு ஒரே லட்சியம் எங்கள் கண்ணிலே நிறைவேறிடும் அந்த நாளிலே உலகம் போற்றிடும் எங்கள் பள்ளியே SRK. கல்வி பண்புகளை கண்ணின போற்று கலைகள் யாவையும் கைவசமாக்கு பள்ளியின் பெயரை கேட்டால் சொல்லு SRK.
Admission is going on from pre-KG to 12th standard. Group A1A, Maths, Physics, Chemistry, Biology. Group A1B, Physics, Chemistry, Computer Science and Biology. Group A2, Maths, Physics, Chemistry and Computer Science. Group A3, Accountancy, Economics, Commerce and Computer Application. SRK Higher Secondary School, 45/7, Dilliyanur Main Road, Karikalampakam, Puducherry 7.